Welcome to UniFactory. In this video, I will show you how you can plan with the planning tool UniGantt at Uniconta. UniFactory is a Danish located company developing manufacturing planning systems, job handling system, time and attendance systems, logistics modules, and a lot of other things as add-ons to Uniconta. Let's go back, or let's go into Uniconta. Now we are in the beginning of Uniconta, and this is the Windows version that I'm running. Let's go into the inventory and have a look at items. I go into items where I see all my items, and as you can probably see, the first item numbers are actually resources. So in the item table, you can both create resources and materials and bill of materials. So everything is gathered in the item table. At this welding resource, I have defined that it is a service. It has a calendar template, 8 hours Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 5 hours Friday, and 0 Saturday, Sunday. And that's the basic calendar for this resource. Of course, you also have a calendar where you can put in absence, holidays, and everything for the resources. You can define the cost price per minute for the resource and the sales price per minute for the resource. So these are the resources, but let's try to find a bill of material. In this case, I have this bill of material Pierce finished item, and as you can see, it is possible to load pictures for the items, and you can also add as many files as you like. And these files are of course available in the job handling module as well as in the planning, actually everywhere in the system. But let's go into the bill of material and have a look at that. So I go into the bill of material and I start by looking at a hierarchical view to see what are the views, how many sub assemblies do this item consist of. And I have subassembly 1 and I have Martin's finished item. So I have a bill of material in actually 2 or 3 levels at Pierce finished item. But the bill of material, how do we make that? We simply go into the bill of material contains of, and then we define the sequence that's called step. Step number 10 is the first step. Step number 15 is the second step. Step number 20 is the third step, and so on. And at the first step, you can see that's where we attend the saw, and we have to do something, and it takes approximately 4 minutes per piece, and the time is proportionally. The time could also be fixed, because if you have setup time on machines, you can of course define that as well. And then we have some raw material which we need, some alustick, 3 meters. We have a laser cutter where it takes 6 minutes per piece, and so on. But we also have sub-assembly work here, which takes approximately 5,700 minutes, which is approximately 1 day in the planning system. So this is the bill of material, and then you can see that we have as well a production bill of material. So if I want to see this subassembly, what does that contain of? I can see how that is built, and I can see that it also has another subassembly, which I could also see. If I want to see this bill of material divided in routing and bill of material, that is possible as well. You simply right click and say group by, and then take the item type, and now you can see this is the bill of material, and these are sub assemblies, and this is routing for this bill of material. And you can save the layout, so if you prefer this setup, you can save it, so that's your standard when you open the system. Actually, it is very, very easy to build bill of materials and routings in Uniconta because you can do it in one screen. In other systems, you will normally have to do it in 2, 3, or 4 screens before you have finished a bill of material. but you can do it very swiftly and fast in Uniconta in only one screen. Let's try to make a production order on this item. Before we do that, let's have a look on the inventory status. How many do we have in stock? We have 0 in stock. We have reservations for 1,120, so we have a negative available number, but we have ordered 50 in production orders, but we are short of this item, definitely. Now to create a purchase or to create a production order, I have 3 possibilities. I can simply go into production and press create production order, or I can go into the replenishment system and let the system tell me that I need this item, and from the replenishment system I can create production orders. The third possibility is from sales orders, of course. If you create a sales order, that can create your production order in the number that you are missing or short of. Actually, we have a setup system where you can define how should the system handle sub-assemblies when you create a production order on a finished item. Should it be one-to-one, or should it be based on short in the inventory, or what should the rule be? That's only set up to define that. But let's have a look on the sales order and try to make that one. So I go into the customer module, into sales orders. I create a sales order for a customer, in this case Mølbro Production. I could type in a delivery date, but I don't in this case. I go to the lines and I sell Per's finished item. And let's say I want to sell 50 of these. And I can again see the inventory level here below and see the numbers that you saw just before. In this case, I want to create a production order, so I go into production, create production orders, which means that the system will probably create more than one production order, because if we are short of the sub-assemblies as well, the system has already now created the production orders for that. And we also have a link on the sales order directly to the production order number, so that it is easy for us to follow the status on the production order, also on the sales order. Let's go to manufacturing orders and have a look on what happened. We go into production orders and try to find the sales order which we just created, which was number 154. And I can see this one is related, this production order number 807 is related to sales order 154, but the system also created a production order on this subassembly and this subassembly, because we were also short of items on these products. In this case, I have set up the system to produce one-to-one what I sell if I'm short of items, and not look into how many available I have on stock. So we get 50 on each production order. And as you can see, we also note that production order number 808 is derived from number 807, and 807 is derived from production order 806. And this is of course very important when we go into the planning module, because when we are in the planning module, we need to plan the sub-assemblies before or prior to the finished item, of course. In this case, I would like to put a plan color in. I actually don't know what this color is, but let's try to see what happens. I press save, go home, refresh, and we can see it has saved color number 13. Now I go into our planning system, which is a product that is web-based and outside of Uniconta, but it has no database. Uniconta is its database. In this screen, this is where I do the planning. I can see all production orders. I just have to press refresh from Uniconta, and now you can see that we got a purple production order. The production orders that we just created, they are purple. and I want to plan them together with all the others. If I only wanted to plan these three and not replan the other production orders, which are already planned as you can see here, then I would only mark these three and press Plan All Marked. And now we have a start and end date for each of these. And if I go into the Gantt chart, you can see how these production orders are planned together with all the other production orders. If you want to focus on a special production order, you can right-click on the Gantt bar and say Show Only, and then you will see the how this production order goes through your resources and in the calendar. The fastest and easiest way to replan production orders is to use priority. You can do this both in Uniconta and you can do it here in UniGantt. So if I think this production order is much more important than any of the others, the higher number, the more important the production is. I think I should give these 100 as well. I'm not sure if that's necessary. I don't think it's necessary. It should be handled automatically. But I don't have time to show you, so I press Plan All Marked again. And then if this changed anything in the Gantt chart, it actually did. I think it moved something. Then the system will move the production orders so that they are planned according to priority and no longer according to production order number. The sequence of planning is delivery date. Its priority is the first priority for planning. The second is delivery date, and the third is production order number. You can scroll in, scroll out. You can, if you like, or if that's the way you plan, you can drag and drop with your mouse, move jobs around, and if you do that, then we call that finite scheduling, and then we put on a log so that you can see this is finite schedule. So when we go into the replanning here and press Plan All Marked, then you can see there's a log on this one, and that means it will not be moved unless you unlock the production order, which you can do in this way or by each production order separately. The planning system is very, very easy to use. It's based on more than 20 years experience with production planning. So it's not just for fun, this system. It takes almost everything into consideration for a production order. And that means it also looks into materials. When do we have the materials available? And as you can see, as I showed you here, it also looks on resource availability and the calendar and the resources I have available. But the main issue and the main idea about the planning system is that it shall be very, very easy and fast to make planning so that you don't have to allocate a person for planning. You really don't do that in Uniconta. You only need 10 minutes a day to do the planning. In the next video, I will show you something about job handling in this module as well. We have two job handling modules, one based in Uniconta and we have one web-based here at UniGantt. But I think this was a quick introduction. I'll just show you that you can right-click and you can also go into the details of each production if you want to. We have links for the production orders so that you can go into details about the production orders. You can see documents, you can see the main page of a production order, timestamps, sub production orders. So everything is there right ready for you to run, and the system is also cheap. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for looking. Bye.